Okay, for me, I come from Uganda, and I am a fellow. I come from Uganda, and I'm a teacher by profession. I'm a teacher leader and a fellow. I teach for Uganda.
Okay, so you teach for which category of students? Primary, high school, or college?
No. I'm a profession. I'm a teacher by profession in secondary, but I'm volunteering with an organization which I told you teach for Uganda, and we are dealing with the younger children, primary, lower classes, primary 1, primary 2, and primary 3.
Okay, I got it. So you have mentioned that you are a CEO of Rise Hope Foundation Uganda, right?
Yes, I'm the CEO of Toys for Hope Foundation Uganda.
Okay, so what do you do through this foundation?
Okay, in this foundation we are doing very many projects, but my major focus is that I would just want to see these young children empowered with some education, right? So one of the projects that we are doing is empowering the younger children with some scholastic materials to help them acquire education so for well. You get?
Okay, yeah. So
Yes,
that's a great job you guys are doing through Raise Hope Foundation. See, when we are talking about learning or education, it is less about what we teach. It is more about how we teach. So that is what, as a teacher, I always believe. So as we are talking about effective learning today, so what are your views on effective learning inside the classroom?
okay. So in the classroom, we are doing a lot of things, and we are applying a lot of techniques during the teaching. When you talk about effective teaching, it just means like an ability to improve the students' achievements in class. So as a teacher, you have to apply a lot of techniques, a lot of methods, a lot of procedures to see that the students' achievements are being achieved. Of course, when you're a teacher and you are going in class, you already have a vision for those learners, and you know what you're supposed to do. Maybe by the end of this time, I'll have achieved this and this and this. So you as a teacher, you are supposed to have prepared yourself before going into class, and of course, you already know your learners. You know the age group of the learners. You know the learners' differences. You know the learners' backgrounds. So when you're going into a class, you know what you're supposed to do before going into a class, as you are supposed to prepare your lesson. Maybe you have your outlined scheme of work, you have your organized lesson notes, and maybe you have already organized your some exercise for those learners. After maybe the end of the lesson, you are supposed to test their achievement like that.
Yeah, that's rightly said, Andrew. Because when you know you are, see, I think my voice is echoing. Can you mute? Can you mute for a while? Okay. Yeah. So now, what you said is really a very important point, because when we are getting into the class, it is essential to know that whom we are teaching, and what can be the measures, what can be the means, considering what age group we are teaching and what background children are from, and what are the new methods that can make children to listen to us with more interest, or that it's really essential, because I have seen teachers creating such a beautiful learning environment in class, where children feel happy to go to school. At the same time, I have also seen teachers who are probably teachers children consider as boring, because they keep on repeating same things, and not considering what actually children want. They just go on completing their part of probably obligation or timetable. That's all. So as you said, if you know as a teacher what you're going to teach inside the classroom, and what you are bringing new to the classroom makes a lot of difference. And Andrew, as a teacher, what are the methods that you follow? What are the, can you tell me or share 2-3 techniques which worked for you and the children that you teach? You have to unmute and speak.
Okay, thank you. So as I told you that before going into class, you already know your learners, right? So, and it depends on which lesson are you going to deliver, which content are you going to deliver, and what age of the students are you going to deliver the content to. So there are very many techniques, of course, of delivering, but also it depends on the teacher. And even like I can say maybe how your learners are, may either bright, either middle, either term takers, like for me, as of course I'm teaching deep in the village and the students are not maybe bright. I can say I can use that, but we are always using, and the students don't have books where to write, but of course you are supposed to teach them. And now what we do is, me as a teacher, when I'm giving content, I teach on the blackboard, but I am also supposed to cater for these learners' needs who don't have the books. What I do is, maybe I give them some pieces of chalk and they're supposed to write on the floor. You get? Because they are little children and they need to grasp the content. So what I do after teaching on the chalkboard, I go move around. Those one who don't have the books, I give them space to learn, teach them how to write, teach them how to read, like that. And maybe some other technique is I glue.
You are off, Andrew, I think.
Them. I mix. I get the bright students, I mix up with the time taker students. Of course, even though they are time takers, but also they have come to learn. So I mix up with them. Then after, I'm always instructing the bright students to help the weak students. In the due process, even the weak student is learning something. Yeah. You get? Then also, sometimes I give time to these time takers, because as the teacher, you already know the students who need extra effort or extra time support to give them. So after a lesson, when I'm out of the classroom, maybe when I'm marking, I call some. You call me this student. And as I'm marking, I'm always telling him, you are supposed to do this, you're supposed to do this, you are supposed to do this, you are supposed to do this. But before that, there are some students who are being affected by the family background. Some students are living with the stepmothers, some students maybe are orphans, and maybe you can get some students are bright, but because of the family background, the kid is not performing. So I'm supposed to do home visits for those students. I do home visits. I go home to their home places. I look for what the challenge is, and then once I get the challenge, I sort out. We discuss with the guardians, what should we do? Why is the kid is not performing? And once I get the problem, I understand the real problem, why the kid is not performing, then I do the mentoring. I guide them. I mentor. Because even me, one day I was a street kid. I've been sharing my stories. I was a street kid, but because I was mentored by someone, I am a teacher now. So that's what I give. I act as a role model to those kids. I mentor them, do this, you are supposed to do this. Maybe in future you are going to be a doctor, you are going to be a teacher, you are going to be a lawyer. As you doing that, you motivate the learners and you inspire them. So another technique we do is question and answer technique. Maybe yesterday you taught and today you are going to continue with the lesson. You first brainstorm those learners. You ask them questions. Yesterday we talked about this and this. What do you understand? What do you still remember about yesterday's lesson? As you are doing that, you are trying to make those learners remember. You get?
Yeah.
So, and also what I can say is, you as a teacher, you are supposed to give 100% to those learners. You know what I mean? When you give 100% to those learners, is if you are going for teaching, then you teach those learners as you're teaching maybe your kid, your son, your daughter, because once you're giving 100%, you are free to those learners. You get, you are free to those learners. You are approachable, you're enjoyable, you motivate them, you inspire them in class, and because the students are not even intimidated to ask questions. Maybe they are not intimidated to ask questions, maybe when they have not understood. But there are some teachers, we find there are some teachers who are harsh in class. You reach, the teacher just beats the children and they get scared. You get, and once they are scared, of course, learning will not take place. You will be teaching yourself, and learners will be left behind. Of course, the learners are little children. They cannot maybe say something. Teacher, you are not teaching us well, because they fear you. So we don't want such teachers. We want you to be you enjoyable in the class. You give 100% in the class. You motivate the learners. You inspire them. And once you are doing that, learning can take place.
Yes, Andrew, when you were talking about your real life experiences, how others have impacted, or how others mentored you, or somebody mentored you, so that made you to be here. And one good thing is that you want to, you want to reflect the action, so you want to reproduce the same action note led you to something great in life. And probably that is what every individual probably who is learning, who was getting mentored and get inspired by great teachers need to do. I think, we have to make sure that what we get good from the world, we go on probably sharing and spreading across. And definitely mentoring, inspiring, and probably being a good friend to the child, or to children in a class makes it much more easier to learn, rather punishing the child in a class. And whatever you have told it really, really beautiful way. And I see that, I could hear children there were making noise around you. That noise, or probably that is, always I call it as music, and it is so soothing to be in that environment where you can continuously hear, at least continuously listen to the children speaking and enjoying in their world. That is kind of meditation for many teachers. I have seen them coming to the class and forgetting anything else and just focusing on children. And I'm really, really grateful that I am getting opportunity to talk to many passionate teachers like you. Yeah, so after this, I have only one final question. So what made you, you have told that somebody have mentored, and you have realized the importance of mentoring, so you have picked up teaching, and you are helping children. Apart from this, any other factors of your society that made you to be a teacher, and all that work you are doing today?
Okay, thank you so much. Now that question is good, and I've been meeting very many educationists, and I've been asking such a question. Now, the reason why I am a teacher for those young children, despite me being a professional secondary teacher, is I just have the passion of serving those children. Because as I told you way back, also I was in such a condition. But my focus is I just want to act as an example to those children, to act as a role model. I want to inspire those children. I want them to show them that I'm a secondary teacher, but I'm teaching P1. Even those teachers, I'm an example to them. They're always asking me, why are you a secondary teacher, but coming to primary one to teach? I was like, yes, I have passion for those young children. Because for me, I'm a scientist, and if you have ever heard in Uganda, the scientists are being paid a lot of money. But I was like, no, I cannot look on a huge amount of money. Yet the future is lying there in the village. So I just want to see these younger children also, like maybe in future, be like me. You get? Because I believe that there is need for education for all. Every kid, every person is entitled to having education, irrespective of any background, race, tribe. You get? So even these children deep in the village, young children, they need to have education. And yet, if they are not seeing us as role models to them, then they cannot pursue education. That's why I was like, no, I should go to deep in the village and act as an example, even to the teachers, to the parents themselves, and the learners. You get? So what I can say is maybe the passion, the feeling that every learner, every kid is supposed to have education. That's why I went there in the village.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. See, I when you are mentioning so passionately about a need of education, I have, that this thought actually crossed in my mind that we definitely should have many people like you who are aware of importance of education and trying to set an example, trying to be an example. We have many educators, dedicated their lives to teaching. But now, if we look at current generation, there are very less children who are passionate about educating others. They want to learn, they want to earn, but there are very less children who are thinking to be an example to others or to help to build their build other children to build their career. So it's kind of inspiration. uh, all you guys, youth coming forward and doing this work probably makes many other think that, though they are having any other job in hand, pick up teaching as at least part-time job, not to earn, not only to earn, but to make sure that they transfer their knowledge and they could give a better life to few other children, and that is one part of probably social service all the educators, all the experts, industry experts could do, because we are in busy world, we are in competitive world, we are in race, and we are running towards money, we are racing for success. But I feel end of the day, when we look back and we check what we have done in few years and last few months, or probably in my entire life after the retirement, see, if we have done anything like this, you visit few schools, you share knowledge, you see people appreciating it, accepting it, using it, that gives more satisfaction than the crores of rupees checks you received or amount received. Hence, I admire the passion that you have and many other educators I interact, and they show towards world and education towards children. Thank you so much for everything that you are doing. So you have your students around you. If you have, can you move your camera towards them? You are on mute. You are on mute.
Okay. I'm saying I'm not having any student now because we are in holidays, and we hope to resume next month. Okay. So I'm in I'm in holiday. We are in holidays, so I don't have any kid now to show. But I can share with you some pictures because yesterday in Loiso Foundation Uganda, we gave out scholastic material to those learners to prepare them for the next term. So if possible, I can share some pictures with you now. Is it okay?
Yeah, and what is the
Okay.
noise around you? You have students?
No. I don't have students now, but I have maybe I can access the learners, the children under the of Nation Uganda.
No, what
But
is the
because the kid,
noise? See, what is the noise that I could hear around you? What is the noise that I could hear around you? There are
no, those
children
are
around
just
you?
yes, there are some kids.
Okay. Yeah, if you don't mind, can you move a camera so that I could see, the place, your place?
Like this one is my bro.
Hi, I'm Pooja from India.
So he's my bro. Then there are some other kids just this way, but I'm always because they can make noise, and I was like, no, you go, so that I can finish up this.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
so kindly allow me to share some pictures of what we did yesterday, giving out some scholastic material to these learners.
Yeah, please show me.
Okay. So allow me to share because they're saying only the host can share.
Oh, I have to make you host. Yeah, I'm doing that. You are host now. Just try now.
Okay, thank you. Are you seeing that?
Yeah, good.
So those are the children that we gave the scholastic materials yesterday.
Okay, that's great job.
They are allowing 50 children that we are giving out. So they are under Loiso Foundation Uganda, and with under Loiso Foundation Uganda, we have 12 sponsored children, and 38 children are not sponsored, but we are helping them with some scholastic materials. As we continue getting maybe some sponsors, we increase the number of sponsored children. That's what we do. But those are the children that we gave out the scholastic materials, and they are under Loiso Foundation Uganda. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, this was wonderful time that I spent with you, Andrew. It was really, really wonderful having conversation with you. Thank you so much. I would like to have you again very soon on Talking to Teachers episode. Keep doing great, and a big shout out for everything that you are doing. You are inspiring youth, you are inspiring people across the world who would like to serve in the education industry. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks a lot. Do you have anything to share to conclude with?
Okay, all I just need to do is I'll just appreciate you for your time, for this opportunity, because it has been a long time me talking to you. Opoja, can we have a meeting? But it's a pleasure. And maybe what I can say is maybe if possible, we can do it maybe after every month, after every 2 months, and discussing a lot of topics, because all I need is just to learn from maybe you, because I take you someone who is more experienced than me. So if possible, maybe we can get time every month so that we can have these sessions learning from you.
Of course, I'll be more than happy to have a conversation. See, just that I have a lot of slots booked, and almost every weekend I have sessions scheduled. And now already till September last week, I have different slots given to the people. And I am working. I have to juggle with my this work and my work, and I'm teaching, so I have different things to manage, and that is not an excuse. And I know I have probably compared to any other speaker so far, for you have kept on changing the schedule. And I really apologize for that, but I'm glad that we spoke today, and definitely we'll meet again. Thank you so much.